Say you have over 10,000 hours of recording easily?
Oh, easily,
Mastery,
man.
man.
Oh,
Mastery.
oh yeah. No, 10,000 hours of recording, 100%. I used to spend, just days in hotels, just set up my studio in a hotel, get it for a week, and just literally stay there and just record hours and hours and hours. And I love that software. I'm not gonna lie. I
Hmm.
love Logic Pro. I love Pro Tools. I love FL. I actually genuinely love those softwares, and there's endless creativity that you can do in there. So I've easily spent more than 10,000 hours in that software. I've been making music in that way for about 10 years now.
Yeah.
Since I was 16, so now I'm 28, about to turn 29. So I definitely have quite some hours behind that software, and I love 'em. I love every single minute.
What made you want to get a hotel to get away and just be there creating? What was it about that?
Um, you know, um, it's because um the way that I was introduced to like when I was touring,
Hmm.
I only did this after like I already experienced it. When I was touring with just in general with
Well, you
No
can name
Limit.
some of the people you were touring. You told me Mystical was one of the
Right.
ones that you
So
were.
when I went on my biggest tour that I did was with No Limit Records,
Hmm.
which I went on tour with Master P, but I went under Sons of Funk. I don't know if you remember Sons of Funk from the 90s.
Sounds a little familiar,
They
but
they had
okay.
really big records, and
Plug a little clip of their song,
yeah,
Carlos.
there you go. Sons of Funk, Pushing Inside of You. It's actually an R&B record that was huge back in the 90s. And, they're still doing gigs. They're still doing a lot. And in around 2017, it's so insane how I actually got on tour.
Hmm.
I used to be a server and somewhere in the Woodlands, in the area in the Woodlands, right?
Working at the restaurant.
Working in the restaurant
Nice.
industry, working, just grinding. And I'm a people person, man, and I'll talk to anybody, and I end up being friends with them. So most of my tables like ended up being my friends.
That's cool.
And so one of my regulars, some lady that came from Louisiana one day,
Hmm.
she's like she really digs my vibe and whatnot, and she's like, I gotta get your Instagram. And then she gets my Instagram, she sees that I sing, and she just keeps on contact with me, and she's like, no, I'm gonna put you on, I'm gonna put you on. A year, 2 years pass by, nothing happens, right? One day she hits me up out of nowhere. She's like, "Hey, can you come to Louisiana because I think I have an opportunity for you." And like I said, you tell me you got an opportunity for me, I'm
Gone.
going. I was like, "All right, mom. I think I had a job. I think I quit and everything, man." I was like, "Oh wait,
It doesn't surprise me if you leave your job.
yeah."
If you leave a whole town to move, I don't doubt that you could have
But
done
I
that.
was like, "Wait, an opportunity to do music, gone, gone, man." I was like, "All right,
Nice.
boss. I'm sorry. I love y'all, but I'm gone." So I went out there, and so next thing you know, I'm pulling up to this mansion, man. Like they picked me up from the airport and everything, and I'm pulling up
What?
to this mansion, and I'm like, "Man, who are these people?" Because you didn't really tell me about them
Right.
like that. And so I go into the house, and I go into the main house, and I'm like, "Whoa, this place is nice." And
Hmm.
so then I go into the back door, and I see platinum records all over, and then a huge studio, and I'm like, "This is my toy right now. This is where I'm gonna be working." Oof. So I get super excited. They start breaking down who they are, and obviously, they're a big band in the '90s.
Yeah.
Now I know a lot of people, but I just wasn't super familiar with them. Then they start playing me their records, and I'm like, "Oh wow, like I didn't know that was you
That's
guys."
you guys.
Yeah, so I'm like, "Wow." So then they start training me. They start training me hard. Every day in the studio, singing, choreography, dancing. It's R&B. It's real R&B.
So were you going to be there to perform, or were you going to be there to be part of the group performing
No,
with
I
them?
was performing, singing, dancing, producing, writing songs for
As
them.
part of the group?
As part of the group, yeah.
Oh,
I was,
nice.
I was in stage singing with them, with Rico, with everybody.
All of them.
And yeah, it was a great experience, man. It was a great, great experience. I learned so much from Rico himself, how to perform, how to, put it together a choreography for a show, what to do, give him a show, like spice it up, and,
Yes.
and he put me to work and taught me a lot, he taught me how to prepare for a show. A lot of people just show up, that's okay as well. If you got
Yeah.
it like that, if you have nothing to really show up and rap, that's fine. But if you want to give people, I mean, you see it, big people do it, they
Yeah.
have a whole, Beyonce has a whole band, a whole dancers and whatnot. So, yeah, man, they just taught me a lot, a lot. And so that's how I ended up going on tour with them by being a good server.
That's crazy. Okay, so before that day,
Hmm.
have you ever been on stage
Oh,
performing?
yeah, I have been on
Have
stage.
you?
I
And
perform.
then, but did you perform, or did
Oh,
you
no.
learn the
Oh,
difference
no.
of
Oh,
performing?
no, no. I didn't perform. That was just me getting up there trying to do something. Then after that, I learned about performing
And
and,
what
and
was the difference? What was you learn the most about its art?
preparation, and it's about having every moment in stage thought out. at least for an R&B singer or for somebody that's planning out a show with more people involved, right? If you're just by yourself, you can do whatever on stage. But when you have a whole group, like an R&B group, you have to be in sync with everybody. So preparation is absolutely key, and that's the difference between just a rap show and a concert. You know, a concert where you have to go and perform and entertain, and things can go wrong if you just don't do your job right. You know,
Yeah.
and many times, bro, did I get kicked out on stage? Like, it's not your time. You know, people don't care. You know, at the end of the music industry, it's hundreds of thousands of dollars in that night alone that are getting put into the show, whatever.
Don't worry about your feelings. You know your timing. You're supposed to be coming in at 5 minutes. What are you doing here right now? Wait.
Exactly, man. Exactly. You know, there was an incident. Let me tell you this one 'cause this was super funny.
Yeah.
We're on stage. We're in Colorado. 3,000 plus people, man. Belco Theater. It's lovely. And it's our turn to perform. Right. Two things went wrong that night. I met Mystical, Mia X, and that's the night that I actually met Master P. Right. Not too much talking. Obviously, that guy's got big security next to him. You can't really say a lot to the guy.
Yeah.
But we go on stage, man, and we're performing. And in this performance, we're actually doing a very, very sexual performance. I'm not gonna lie. Very, it's R&B. It's 90s R&B. Is you gotta, so
you gotta get somebody pregnant by the end of the night or after the show is over.
So,
you know what I mean?
Right. So Rico, shout out to Rico, man. He really pulled through. He's about to go into the floor and he falls. But he landed so smooth. You know what he starts doing?
Hello, you and all. Thank you very much for checking out this episode. Make sure you go and subscribe, hit the like button, leave us a comment. We appreciate it. Now, back to the episode.
Instead of falling and taking, he started grinding the floor, just like it was part of the show. And I'm
crazy.
like, that's a professional. That's a professional. The show must go on.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the one thing that I was like, wow. Anybody else would have just, I don't know, throw them off entirely. But he literally like just made that part of the.
That's a pro. That's
Rico.
a pro.
Sounds of fun, Rico, man. Shout out to Rico. I learned a lot from him.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.